strangely dressed man appeared out of nowhere, questioning the current date, then disappeared, as evidenced by the following video.
And some rain over the next few weeks. That's it.
That's it. Okay, let's
From everyone here at Ross News, have a good evening and a pleasant tomorrow.
yeah, right on.
Hannah Kempfield with Ross News for November 5th, 2014. Today's top stories. Canada is still in mourning over the loss of its young soldiers in recent weeks. Japanese tourists still missing in Yellowknife. And our top story, alleged time traveler appears in local mall. We will go to local correspondent Gavin with an update on the amateur video shot at the Williamsburg Mall.
Apparently at 11 a.m. on Friday, a strangely dressed man appeared out of nowhere, questioning the current date, then disappeared, as evidenced by the following video. And weather?
We'll be expecting some snow and some rain over the next few weeks. That's it.
That's it. Okay, let's go back to the anchor.
And that's today's news. From everyone here at Ross News, have a good evening and a pleasant tomorrow.
Yeah, right on.
Good afternoon. This is Captain May with Ross News for November 5th, 2014. Today's top stories. Canada is still mourning over the loss of its young soldiers in recent weeks. Japanese tourist is still missing in Yellowknife. In our top story, alleged time traveler appears in local mall. We'll go to local correspondent, I don't know, with an update on the amateur video shot at the Williamsburg Mall.
Apparently, at 11 a.m. on Friday, a strangely dressed man appeared out of nowhere, questioning the current date that disappeared as evidenced by the following video. And now, with Megan, the weather.
It seems to be very cold everywhere. We're gonna die. It's cold everywhere. Freezing. And now to sports.
Well, looks like Ottawa Senators is a team to beat again this year. Back to you, Anchor.
And that's everything for today. From everyone here at Ross News, have a good evening and a pleasant tomorrow.
Alright.
Good afternoon, this is Ron Burgundy with your Ross Video News for November 5th, 2014. Today's top stories. Take Your Kid to Work Day is upon us, and we are currently experiencing our full day of full-time employment. Gunshots were heard today at the Iroquois gas fire, but the public was soon at ease when they were informed it was just the local deer hunters intoxicated at mother cluckers that were just discharging their firearms. The Ross Video Christmas Party date has been announced, and the entertainment scheduled is Ross's own Jeff Barkley and the Bandits. Now over to Isaac with weather.
I thought it was okay. So, everybody in Iroquois, you better get your jackets on because this is going to be cold the whole week through. Today we have a high of just 10 and a low of 5. Now tomorrow it's going to go up a bit with a high of 12 but a low of 7. Now on Friday it's going to drop right down with a low of 0. Then on the weekend it's going to be a little bit higher with a high of 15 and a low of 10, and pretty much the whole weekend through. And then back on Monday, starting the week off, we have again a high of 10 and a low of about 3. And then on Tuesday, sports.
And yet again, the Canucks win the Stanley Cup in an overdue rematch with the Boston Bruins. And also, the Concordia University Stingers are once again the top team in the country. The team has also announced the signings of local athletes Matt Draper and Brian Flathammer. Now back to Ron Burgundy.
Stay classy, Iroquois.
Ross Video News for November 5th, 2014. Today's top stories consist of 3 things. Take your kid to work day is upon us, and we are currently experiencing our full day of full-time employment. Number 2, gunshots were heard today at the Iroquois gas bar, but the public was soon to ease when they were informed it was just the local deer hunters intoxicated at Mother's Cluckers.
Sunny here and rainy here, and snowing down here. And a big hurricane thing is going to go all the way to here. And down here, it's going to be funky with snow. Now sports.
The Concordia University Stingers are once again the country's top football team. The team has also announced the signings of local athletes Matt Draper and Brian Flathammer. Now over to Ron Burgundy.
That's it for today's news, folks. And remember, stay classy, Iroquois.
Remember, guys, that's a wrap. That's the end. We're done, guys. That was fantastic.
How was that?
The Concordia University Stingers are once again the country's top football team. The team has also announced the signings of local athletes Matt Draper and Brian Flathammer. Now over to Ron Burgundy.
That's it for today's